What up, y'all? I'm Sethy G, and on this episode of Platinum Trophies, we're playing the PG Dark Souls. Knowing me, I wouldn't be able to keep this video PG anyways, though, so viewers beware. The game I'm talking about is Kena. Fuck. The game I'm talking about, though, is Kena Bridge of Spirits. I think that worked. Okay, cool. Alright. Man, was it a banger. They went with the cartoony art style, but it helps the coloring pop and just really creates this beautiful aesthetic. There are a couple of fights and cutscenes where this really stands out, but it's always prominent. There are 42 total trophies to snag in this game, all of which are pretty low difficulty, but some are more time consuming than others. You play as Kena, who's a spirit guide. So, I don't know if it's Kena or Kina. Kena? Kina? I'm gonna say Kena. But I feel like in the game it's Kina. I feel like I might have heard it pronounced Kina. Anyways, you're a spirit guide, and the main job of hers is to pass on spirits that are stuck in the world still. But she's looking for answers about her father and her past, right, at the same time. So she has multiple motives. Right off the bat, we run into two twins that are chasing this leaf. It happens to be something called a rot. Uncovering this leaf, we get our first trophy. Found a friend. Rot turns out to be your best friends throughout the game that help in combat and other like actions within the world. For example, like moving things in the world to access different locations. So like puzzle-based stuff that they also help with. The puzzles make their way into the game pretty fast, actually, and we do a couple before making our way to the village. But on the way, we had to ask the real questions. Is it faster to sprint or roll? Probably sprint. Haikyo. To give a basic rundown of the plot, spoiler warning ahead. Spoiler warning, okay? In all caps. There is some sort of corruption that has basically overrun the main village in the game and the areas around it. It's a little ironic that the little companion homies are called Rot, because if I were to call anything Rot, it would definitely be whatever is ruining this village in this area, but hey man, maybe that was by design, right? Anywho, our goal is to save the village and surrounding areas while passing on any spirits we come across, but the two things kind of go hand in hand. There are shrines that the corruption has taken over, and to break them, we gotta conjoin this like goo water monster out of our little rot buddies. Dude, I like them. And when we go over to the shrine, you do like an attack on it, and it breaks the corruption, right? When we restore the first shrine to its former glory, we get a trophy. We find out there's this dude named Taro that we need to help pass on, but we don't know where to start. So we seek advice from a man that lives on top of this massive hill in the distance. Starting our journey gives us the Into the Woods trophy, and we continue on up to the mountain. Into the Woods. A wild cuck appears, named Kappa, that we have to fight, and since it's such an elongated fight, we're able to use our rot buddies over 5 times in the fight, gaining another trophy. Throw somebody at me. Rock Commander! Use 5 rot actions in single combat. After the fight, we do a little platforming, but it's a pretty smooth sailing trip the rest of the way up the mountain. When we make it to the guy up on the hill, he teaches us how to invoke our inner Katniss and teaches us how to use our staff as a bow and arrow, basically. Minus the arrows, because fucking magic, I guess. What kind of sorcery is this?
Try using your bow.
Hunter in the Forest. Learned the bow ability. Do a couple drills on our way out, and he also tells us how to summon a spirit so we can help move them on. It takes 3 things to round up a spirit, basically, to summon the spirit, right? It takes 3 things. It's something they fear, something they love, and something they regret. Although, like, for the different enemies in the game, I don't really know how a lamp can be someone's fear. Like, I don't really anyways, so it just takes 3 things, okay? And each trophy that we get one for collecting one of each of those things, right? For each spirit in the game, and that's what they're called, okay? Don't ask me, man. I don't know. So anyways, we set out for Taro's relic, but before we leave, the bow and arrow dude hands us the first relic, which happens to be Taro's fear.
I'll wait for you there.
Taro's fear. Found Taro. Come to find out that Taro was caring for the twins, and when they got lost, he felt really bad. And there's this shrine called the Guardian Tree, which people leave offerings at, right? Asking for protection of people they love and whatnot. And Taro visited the shrine and offered food. We find this offering, which turns out to be Taro's love relic.
Them to help Taro.
Taro's love. Found Taro's food off. We have to fight a boss shortly thereafter, and that gives us his third relic, which is a regret. Right, so we get the Taro's regret trophy.
I just realized that. Oh no, it's supposed to be the third element, or the third, yeah, relic. Taro's regret. Found Taro's lantern relic
trophy. And we head back to the spot at the start of the forest where there's markings on the ground for Taro. That's where we bring all 3 of the relics. Placing these down actually summons Taro, or his corrupted spirit, so to say, which is almost like a big werewolf type creature. After a couple of tries, I take him down and I set his spirit free along with the twins, as they were only in this world to help pass on Taro as well. So that's pretty wholesome. All right.
First try, fucking easy, dude. Holy shit. Spirit guide.
You guys know me. You know how I play games that have open maps. I explore everything. Like, literally, like, if there's 3 paths, I will take the left one, and then I'll take the middle one, and then I'll take the right one. Or I will take whichever one looks like it's not the correct way to go. Sometimes this actually fucks me up, though, because you accidentally go the right way, and then you miss everything, and certain games will lock you out. But anyways, I'm really a completionist in the aspect of I have to explore everything so I don't miss anything, or at least do my best to do that. And I literally scour every situation, everything, like it's a life or death situation, to find one piece of loot that might not even matter, right? And honestly, it helps a lot with doing these trophies because it saves a ton of cleanup time. You know, like your second cleanup run, getting all the little collectibles and shit. If I find most of that in the first playthrough as I'm exploring it, you know, knocks off a huge time sink. So it's actually really beneficial. But I was doing this. As I was doing this in this game, I came across tons of different chests that you unlock by doing combat challenges, right? Kill this many enemies within a certain amount of time, whatever, right? And one of the challenges, I actually hit 3 enemies with a single multi-shot from the bow, which is an ability in the skill tree.
Bowmaster. Which one is that? Hit 3 enemies with a single multi-shot? Oh, that was... Okay.
So at the village, actually, there's a cemetery at the top of the village, right? And there's challenges that don't hold any specific trophies in the trophy list for doing, but they give you a place to fight waves that is very helpful in snagging trophies that I would end up using later to clean up the rest of the combat trophies. But while I was trying it out for the first time, though, I managed to get the Between the Eyes trophy for killing one of the shielded enemies without breaking its shield.
Between the Eyes, I don't know what that means.
After I finished fooling around, I continued along the story path and made a new friend. Her name is Hannah, and she teaches us this new bomb ability that we can use in combat, as well as adding a whole nother layer to the platforming puzzles and system in the game. Anything with glowing blue around it throughout the game can be affected by these bombs, and it kind of like does this anti-gravity shit with the rock. You throw it on the rock, after time it'll blow up, or you can shoot it, it'll blow up. I think it's a time thing. Anyways, it'll blow up and the rock will lift up, allowing you to jump on it and reach another spot, right? So that's pretty cool, adding more depth to the platforming or map traversal. We actually use it on the door locks in this room. You throw it on the door lock, It'll lift up 3 different layers, and then you spin the layers to match each other, so everything matches up, and that's how you unlock the door. So that's a cool. That's not even platforming. That's a whole nother puzzle aspect. So that's cool. One example of using it in combat as well is throwing it at these annoying ass fly enemies. One of my least favorite enemies in the game, especially when they throw like 20 of them in a room. But anyways, if you stick them with the grenade, they fall to the ground, and like the grenade outweighs that, right, or makes it so they can't carry the weight of the grenade and they fall to the ground. You actually get a trophy for doing this for the first time. I think it's called the Weigh Them Down trophy.
Weigh them down. Destroyed a moth enemy with a bomb. That's kind of cool.
After getting through the door that we need the bomb for, we reach an area of the map called the farm.
I can feel her presence everywhere.
And we learn that Hannah had a friend, or lover, I think they were a little bit of both, named Adira, and she's the next person we must help pass on. First, we free their ox from corruption. There's this big-ass stone ox, which is sick, right? The design goes crazy. The colors go crazy, man. I loved the art style in this game. I'm going to be saying that probably a couple times, but, you know. To break the corruption off the ox, we got to do a bunch of little corruption, like, area clearing around where the ox is. You know, fight the enemies, blow up the center piece of the corruption, and it'll clear the area of the corruption, right? Doing this actually gives us Adira's love relic, as well as the trophy. We make our way to Adira's workshop, where we're supposed to find her second relic, which is a hammer. Doing this, however, requires us to complete another boss fight with Groot, except this one has some crazy stone armor that we have to blow up first. Beating him drops the hammer and snags Adira's fear trophy.
I mean,
Adira's fear. The last relic is Adira's regret, and to get it, we have to get to it's called the Village Heart, right? It's but it's corrupted. I don't. This heart has like a certain power that Adira and Hannah learn to control, but the corruption turned this thing into a menace to the society. All right, it wasn't hard to beat, but you have to like hide behind walls or jump over like different waves that it ends up shooting out.
Adira's regret. Adira's Village Heart relic.
With this last relic from beating the Village Hearts, we head back to the area where we saved the ox and summon Adira's spirit with her relics. It triggers the boss fight just as it did with Taro. After defeating her, we get a cutscene that gives us a little more insight to what happened to Adira and Hannah. The village had actually started to face a famine, and Hannah left to find something or anything that could help them. And after weeks of no return, Adira started building this lighthouse in an attempt to help Hannah find her way back. And let me tell you, bro, Adira looks like fucking Hercules in this cutscene. Like it's so badass, man. I'm gonna insert the clip of the cutscene right here, but. She's literally pulling fucking this crazy amount of weight together. It's crazy. I just burped a little bit. Oh, twice. Anyways, what an actual fucking beast Adira is. Anyways, we reunited Adira and Hannah, and they pass on together in a touching fashion. And we return to the village and speak to the All-Knower, or whatever you want to call this guy, right? Don't actually know what to call him, but he's basically coaching us during this whole ordeal. He teaches us a spirit dash ability that will allow us to pass through gateways and enter the spirit realm and give us access to more areas.
Relics in the spirit realm. You will need to cross over to search for them.
What?
Look for gateways in the village. Dash through them to reach the spirit realm.
Crossing over. Learn the dash ability.
Like the bomb, this can be also used in combat for damage or for evading. This leads us to our third and final spirit and my favorite enemy in the game as well. The fights got a little more complex, but the color schemes that I touched on earlier are super prevalent in them. It's like everything is dark, kind of like it's a more of a dark area. The characters are black, but they have like purple accents, right? Their eyes or the weapons are purple, and it looks so good. It just looks so good. Toshi is a spirit in this area that we must pass on, and at one point in time he was the leader of the village, or at least one of the leading members. When the corruption started, no one knew what to do and was afraid, right? So he ended up taking actions into his own hands, and unfortunately he did it with anger and clouded judgment, and it actually led to a worse outcome rather than a better, but we'll touch on more of that, what happened there in a few. To get at each of his relics, there's a boss fight, these enemies that I was talking about, right? The first one is some maze dude that can teleport around and clones himself on some fucking ninja shit. I don't know, it's kind of crazy.
Damn, they're about to be one of these bosses at every single relic. Toshi's Fear. Found Toshi's Incense relic. Incense? That was incense?
The second one is a dude with a spear sword thing. I think it's called a Naginata. Naginata, I think. I'm probably pronouncing that terribly, butchering that, but honestly it's my favorite fight in the game. You cannot tell me that the dark mixed with the purple does not go hard. All right, you cannot tell me. It's some like combinations like red and black on cars, or like red and bro, there's certain combinations that just go crazy, and the black and purple was one of them. All right.
Toshi's Love.
But before we get to the third one, I went back to the town and unlocked the last mailbox area, which is basically locked doors that you need some sort of relic or something that you find throughout the world to open, right? You just put it in the mailbox, it opens this, stops blocking a certain area, right? So I went back and got that last one done. I also jumped into photo mode and grabbed the Say Cheese trophy. I think throwback to the Callisto Protocol. I'm pretty sure it was literally named the same exact thing as well. But that game was shit.
Captured a photo in picture. Where the hell is picture mode at? Fuck is picture mode? Oh shit! I found it. Say cheese.
I kind of wish I would have played around with photo mode a little more, because the art style definitely could have got some fire pictures and, like, you know, a better thumbnail. Like, now we moved on to the third fight, which was an annoying witch bitch. Third fight, we moved on to the third fight, and this third fight was an annoying witch bitch up on like a broom, right, that like flew around, right? It wasn't that bad once you figured out the basics of the fight, but it was so annoying trying to hit it with how fast it flies around. But it was all good once you figured it out. It was just kind of long.
Toshi's Regret.
I forgot to mention actually that there were meditation points throughout the game that increase your maximum health every time you meditate at a new one. You can only meditate once at each one, but every time you meditate at a new one, it increases your maximum health. Beating this last dude, the witch bitch on the broom, right, that unlocks the last meditation point, at least for me. I had found all the ones prior. So after the cutscene, after beating it, you can rest at that meditation point.
Zen Master. Meditated at all meditation spots. Okay, that's the last one there.
So, you know, I rested at all these points. You know, you have to come to peace with going demon mode on these motherfuckers sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So now that we had all three relics, we made our way back up to the mountain to find Toshi. When we get there, we obviously got into another boss fight, and I think my dog was the hardest part, right?
Is there a stage 2? And yeah, I low-key think that Jax was smurfing on me there, bro. He was farting and distracting me. Now, why the fuck is this not the last boss fight? A leader walks alone.
This is Jax, alright? And Jax has a stinky ass, I tell you. I tell you, man, it is sometimes... Oh, brother. Anyways, we beat Toshi, and afterwards he stole our little rot buddies from us. To supposedly show us their true nature, right? True nature. I thought this was going to be the last boss fight in the game, but obviously I was mistaken.
There's more? What the hell? I thought that was it for sure. Are you telling me that it gets harder? The lonely path. Reach them.
The arena, so to say, after we beat this fight, opens up to this beautiful snowy path leading up to the mountain shrine. We're shown what happened to Toshi actually when he was making his journey, or when he reached this point. He ran into an animal that had something to do with like the balance of things, right? Except he was so built up with rage that he decided to kill it. And go figure, it made everything spiral out of control. I don't know where we've seen anger ruin things before. I mean, oh yeah, that's right. Except Thanos that I had to fight because of it was a little different. This is a monster created from our little rot buddies. I didn't dive super deep into the lore, so I did get a little confused as to what this meant. I don't know if they're actually truly bad in nature, but it obviously didn't seem like they were bad. They were helping us through everything, right? It didn't seem like they were part of the corruption, but anyways.
Restore balance. Holy fuck, my hands.
Safe to say I still have some blank spots in the plot, right? Maybe the creature Toshi killed was actually a rot being, in quotation marks, right? And killing it corrupted it, and that's what we just fought. Anyways, I'm getting carried away in my own thoughts here, but killing this creature got us the Restore the Balance trophy and wrapped up the story of the game. We got another trophy for beating the game on the hardest difficulty.
That's sick. Master Spirit Guide. Beat the game on Master difficulty.
Glad this game actually included a trophy for that, right? I enjoy a challenge anyways, even when games don't have that trophy, but I never really understood why they skip over that trophy in some games anyways. I mean, it's pretty simple, right? And it actually makes for a challenging trophy, because a lot of these games, I've talked about this before, they don't care about challenging trophies. They just make these really tedious trophies, you know, like with Hogwarts Legacy, making you have to go to 190,000 Merlin trials that are the same thing over and over again. Anyways, let's not go back there, but we still had a bunch of cleanup trophies that mostly revolved about combat, or revolved around combat, right? But also some exploration ones as well, such as collecting all of the rot buddies, as well as 50 different hats that you can put on them. Love being able to have a bunch of little Kevin Costners on my team, right? Running around behind me. Buddies! No stone unturned. Found all of the rot. Yes, sir. Should be a trophy. If I have a brain and count, yes, hat collector, thank you. Collected 50 rot hats. We also had to finish restoring all the corrupted shrines in the game, and open all the cursed chests, which I guess counts as combat and exploration, right? You have to fight to open them, so.
This might be the last pillar that I need. Restoration Master, restored all the fire shrines, nice. Curse Collector. Open all curse chests. Oh, that's all of them in the game. Okay.
On the last stretch of the combat achievements, I used the arenas that I talked about earlier in the game. When I said you could do them to unlock different cosmetic stuff. And anyways, they're wave-based challenges, and I found it easiest to just go into those to attain these trophies. One we got for hitting 3 enemies with a single rot-infused arrow.
Ow, fucker. Oh, that didn't count. Okay, thank God. Piercing bow. The 3 enemies with a single.
one for killing a mage with one of its own bombs, and one for killing an enemy by shooting one of the bombs out of mid-air.
There we go. Return to sender.
This one took an embarrassing amount of tries, if I'm being honest, but I never claimed to be John Wick or anything, so we can let that one slide, I think.
There we go. Sharpshooter. Hey.
Another one was for parrying and killing 3 enemies with the parry.
Why are they all running away? Triple threat. Okay. For 3 enemies, a single parry. I thought that was gonna be harder because they were all like running away, but
Triple tap required us to kill 3 enemies with a single dash attack.
triple tap. There we go.
Quick draw was for hitting 3 critical spots in rapid succession, which sounds hard at face value, but the pathetic suicide bomber bitches are walking critical hit spots, so as long as you don't miss them, you can get this trophy easy in one of the time trials.
Quick draw.
The last trophy we needed was maxing out our skill tree, and with that we claimed the Platinum Trophy.
Platinum trophy, baby. Skillful Spirit Guide. Boom. Unlocking everything. Now guess what?
Another one in the books from a fire smaller game. All right. At this point, I'm digging these smaller games way more than these AAA games, and you'll fucking see what I'm talking about when we get the Dead Island 2 video out, or if you've played it for yourself. But we're not talking about that game right now. We're talking about this. We're talking about this game right here. All right. This game was good. All right, and lovely, and I don't think full price. And if you have PlayStation, the PlayStation Plus extra, right, that you can pay for yearly, monthly, whatever, and get access to all these games, this is on there. So you actually only had to pay that membership fee for it. You don't even have to buy the whole game. But anyways, it was a W. It was a W, right? Much love to all you guys watching, man. If you enjoyed and want to see more, please leave a like, even a recommendation of a game that you would like to see me play. All right. Stay up and stay tuned. All right. Deuces, y'all.